Ohunti agogo wakoro ibi. The sound of the gong drives away evil. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Alafia, brothers and sisters. Oriire funowo. Good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are and whatever may be happening around you. Asheo. If you're striving to change your life by following the guidance of your ancestors, then you're in the right place. This is where we break things down to help you to expand your mind into the wisdom of the Ifa spiritual tradition of Ancestor and Orisha worship. And I am grateful for your presence. We're over 1,000 people, over 1,500 subscribers to the channel. Some of you have been with me for 7, 8 years. So I'm really grateful for your presence on this journey with me. Some of us have traveled, like I said, for years, and I really thank you for that. Really appreciate your comments and questions. It helps me to grow and hopefully helps the community to grow. I hope that you all will continue to communicate respectfully with each other and to share the wisdom, help each other to grow. Itesi waju ati iso kan, speaking of growth, progress, and peace. Everything we share here is intended to assist you in making progress and finding peace and success in your life. Your goal, our goal, is constant progress. Our target is perfection. But that's a target. That's not our daily goal. You're not going to reach perfection like that. So, don't even put yourself into a stress state, thinking that every day you're supposed to achieve some perfect state. No. If you make a little bit of progress today, then you've done all that you can do for that day. We all just need to do the best that we can with the knowledge that we have to address the circumstances and conditions that we face in our life journey, one day at a time, bit by bit. Asheo. Homage to the one who sends and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisha and Egun. If you're new to these video lessons, I'm Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs in Ile-Ife, Nigeria, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalawo of Ile Awo Orisa, the House of the Mysteries of the Orisha. You can learn more about the MSA and the Isoro Council in the description section below and on our website. A link to the website is also in the description section below. Our topic for this video is an overview of the sacred Ifa corpus, or the sacred Odu Ifa. We're starting a new series of lessons, and this is the intro to that new series. In this series of lessons, we'll be taking a deeper look into the sacred Odu Ifa, the foundational corpus of the Ifa spiritual tradition of Ancestor and Orisha worship. The sacred Odu Ifa are the foundational scriptures and spiritual blueprint of the Ifa tradition, a system of divination, cosmology, ethics, and spiritual guidance rooted in the Yoruba culture of West Africa, particularly in Nigeria, and practiced throughout the African diaspora. The fundamental elements of Ifa will be found in African traditions all across the continent. Many, if not most, African Americans and other African descendants throughout the diaspora are genetically linked to this spiritual tradition. That's why it calls to us. It embodies our ancestral memories, and it quickens something in us when we come into contact with it. So let's dive in. We'll break it into parts. Part 1. What is the sacred Odu Ifa? The Odu Ifa, also called Odu, also plural Awon Odu, are 256 sacred texts or signs that contain the wisdom of Ifa. These are not merely writings, but oral verses, proverbs, parables, myths, and spiritual codes that are chanted, memorized, and transmitted through trained diviners, known as Babalawos, fathers of the secrets, and Ile-Ife, mothers of the secrets. Part 2. Structure of the Odu. There are 256 Odu, which are divided into 2 main groups. First, the 16 major Odu, the principal Odu, called Oju Odu Meji. Meji means 2. Examples would be Ejiogbe, Oyeku Meji, Iwori Meji, Idi or Odi Meji. These are considered the mothers and fathers of all Odus, these principal Odu, Oju Odu Meji. The second grouping will be the 240 minor Odu, Omoluabi. These are combinations of the 16. So when we take 16 times 16, combining the major Odus, each of the major Odus, that 16 times 16 brings us to the 256 total signs in the sacred Odu Ifa. Examples of the Omoluabi are Ogbe Oyeku, Iwori Ogbe, Otura Irosu, etc., etc. So each of the minor Odu then is a combination of two of the major Odus, and we've touched on this previously in our Ifa Iwa lessons. You can go back and review that, or if you're new to the channel, you go to those lessons and you'll be able to get the background that we've already covered. The Odus contain an entire library of information. Hundreds of essay Ifa verses and poems, spiritual stories, teachings, and rituals. The Odus contain ritual prescriptions, or ebo, sacrifices and offerings that help us to move the ashe and bend reality. The Odus contain moral guidance and taboos. Iwa Pele, moral guidance about how to live with good character, and Ewo, taboos, things that you should avoid in life. The Odus contain information on healing knowledge, plants, herbs, foods, general natural things from the natural healing technologies from the environment. All of that information can be found in the sacred Odu Ifa. The Odus talk about cosmological insights dealing with the origin and general structure and evolution of the universe, with its parts, its elements, and laws, and especially with its characteristics such as space, time, causality, and free will or freedom. The Odus contain incantations, invocations, ofo we call, words of power for healing, influencing the weather, overcoming enemies, overcoming sickness and disease, overcoming or being able to have to bear children, and much more. Part 3. Divination. How are the Odu used? Ifa divination is performed using sacred tools to determine which Odu speaks to a person, situation, or event. Some of you have already contacted me and had me perform your Odu Ojo Ibi, Afoshe'e, a divination to determine your birthing Odu, the Odu that you brought into the world with you as a reflection of your family lineage. You can contact me via email to learn more about how to have me perform that particular reading for you. That is something that I do and that I enjoy doing, being blessed to share that kind of information with you. What is the Odu that crowns your head, or that you brought into the world with you? So when divination is taking place, there are spiritual tools. The tool Opele, the divining chain that as a Babalawo that I use, the Ile-Ife, the sacred kola nuts that many Babalawos use to do their consulting, their divination, their cowrie shells or Obi. Many of you have learned how to cast your Obi in the lessons on Ifa Iwa. You can check those lessons out if you are new to the channel and you haven't picked up that information yet. There's the Opon Ifa, the divining tray. You've seen a picture of it on some of the slides in the videos, where the Babalawo puts down the Irosun powder and marks the signature of the Odus when we're casting Ifa, if we're using the Ikin Ifa, the sacred kola nut technique for divination. There's also Irinla, chalk, which is used to mark sacred symbols and Odu signatures on a person, a place, or a thing. Ashe. So the Babalawo, the diviner, invokes Orunmila, the Orisha of wisdom and witness of destiny, to reveal the correct Odu for a specific situation. So as I was taught, when we as Babalawos go to the mat, sit on our sacred mat, and ready to perform divination for someone, we actually go through a transformation. I don't have a better way of saying it. We step into the Ashe of Orunmila, so that it is not me, Umar, that is speaking to you if you're sitting across from me on the mat getting divination. What's coming out is not coming from me, Umar, it's coming from Orunmila. It's coming from your Ori through Orunmila. So when we go to the mat, we're actually transforming or becoming an avatar of Orunmila to facilitate you having this communication with your Ori. Powerful, I love this. Part 4, oral tradition and wisdom. The Odus contain mythic and historical stories of the Orisha and ancestors. They contain teachings about destiny, or Yanmo, Ori, your inner head, and moral choices. They contain rituals to restore harmony when imbalance is revealed. And imbalance is a very important and integral process, a concept in the Ifa tradition. All that we're doing when we do Ebo, all that we're doing when we cast divination, is looking for looking to connect the dots to figure out what is imbalanced, why is it imbalanced, and what must be done to restore balance. So balance versus imbalance is an important polarity that we address through the sacred oracles of Ifa. The Odus also contain guidance for resolving personal, family, and community issues, which is why it has remained central and effective in supporting Yoruba civilization, because it works. Ifa works. It presents us with opportunities to move the ashe, to manipulate circumstances, and to bring about good fortune instead of Ibi, bad fortune. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Part 5, Sacrifice and Ebo. Each Odu contains ebos, prescriptions for offerings, actions, and sacrifices needed to correct imbalance and align with Iwa Pele, good character. Ebos may include offerings to Orisha or Egun ancestors, acts of humility or restitution, spiritual cleansings or taboos, again, ewo, things that we should avoid, and community service, right? And other sacred rituals. So within the context of the sacred Odus, we're going, as we study the sacred Odus, we're going to come across all of these different ways of moving the ashe and manipulating or bending reality. Asheo. Part 6, Spiritual Significance. The sacred Odu Ifa are a living archive of Yoruba cosmology and ethics. The Odu preserve the destiny stories of all beings. I think of Ifa as a form of the Akashic record, if not the Akashic record itself. When you understand that the Akashic record is the accumulation of all thoughts, actions, attitudes, emotions, ideas across all time frames, preserved in an energetic form, in an energetic library, and then you look at the sacred Odu Ifa, yes, the Odu have now appear in text. I mean, they're written documents that contain the Odu, but for the most part, for a long time, this was an oral tradition, almost a strictly oral tradition, though I say almost. So the Odu Ifa is a living archive of Yoruba cosmology and preserves the destiny stories of all beings. You will find yourself in the sacred Odu. You will find a parable, a story in the sacred Odu, and when you read it, you're going to see yourself reflected in the character of the person, place, or thing that is being spoken about in that essay Ifa. Okay. The Odus serve as a divine compass to help you align with your higher self and your purpose for coming into the world. Why you came, it's there. Who you are, it's there. How to be in touch with, aligned with your higher self, it's there in the sacred Odu Ifa. The Odu reflects interconnectedness of all things. That's a fundamental premise of Ifa, is that everything is energy. Everything is connected. It teaches that destiny, character, divine will are harmonized through wisdom and action, knowing what to do, what not to do, and then doing it, taking knowledge and raising that knowledge to the level of wisdom by taking action in alignment with the knowledge that you have. That's why we come to this monthly gathering. That's why you listen to the video. You're in the process of accumulating knowledge that is somehow in your genetic code. And when you study, when you listen to these videos, there's something that's going to resonate with you. It's going to vibrate in a way that it touches something in your DNA, something in your ancestral memory. They go, okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, all right. I feel that. I understand that. It's like I've known that, or that truth all my life. Like I've known that. Okay? That's how Ifa hits you. Part 7. Purpose of the sacred Odu Ifa. Ifa is the wisdom of Olu-dumare, the wisdom of source, passed down through Orunmila, so that human beings can fulfill their chosen destiny. So the purpose of Odu Ifa is to illuminate the path of Iwa Pele, good character, to help you remember your pre-birth covenant, Ikpin, or sacred contract or agreement with Olu-dumare and with your ancestors. Odu is to restore harmony between human beings, ancestors, Ile, Mother Earth, the Orisha, and Olu-dumare. Again, balance, harmony. Balance, harmony. Balance, imbalance. We got to bring things back to a state of harmony. Ifa, the Odu, teach you how to become an avatar or embodiment of Orisha through righteous living. What's an avatar? An avatar is a person, a being, a thing, embodying a spirit, principle, or abstraction or incarnation of something or someone else. Ifa guides us to live our life in such way that we embody the ashe of the Orisha and the beings of light throughout the multiverse of creation. Part 8. What Ifa is and what Ifa is not. And you've heard us say it before. Ifani ki isin. Ifa is not a religion. To simply refer to Ifa as a religion is never putting it or looking at it through a very narrow window. And we'll elaborate more on that as we go through these lessons. Ifani bawo waiye shishe. Ifa is how the universe works. So as we're going through these lessons, I want you to expand your sense of where the dots are. The dots are not just in, this mundane world, in the loja, the things that you experience in the world on a day-to-day basis. You have to think cosmically, okay? The laws that are operating in your and my everyday life are not different than the laws that are operating in the life of the universe. So when we take Ifa and expand our understanding and our perspective, when we look at it through the lens of universal or cosmic events, then we're beginning to touch on the real significance of Ifa. Ifane iwati aiye. Ifa is the nature of the universe. Ifa ki ipuro. Ifa does not lie. Again, when we look at Ifa, through this larger lens, and through that larger lens, we then look back in on ourselves and our daily life. We begin to see things, see the world very differently, and to recognize, oh, okay, things didn't happen the way that I thought they would happen from that reading, that divination that I had. But look here, a month later, 2 months later, it's exactly what the Babalawo said would happen. I was initially disappointed, thought that the Babalawo had not given me good guidance, but now I see it was just how I was looking at things that made me think that my sacrifice, my ebo, had not worked for me. Ifa ki iseke. Ifa does not mislead or deceive. This is where you will find truth in Ifa, because it's not a religion, or just take this on faith. No, take this, do this. If you do it, you'll see a result. That's Ifa. Ohun tiyo osele nifa unwi. Excuse me. Ifa simply says what will happen. No more, no less. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Ifa cautions you to do this. Ifa advises you to do that. Then it's up to you. You and I have free will as one of our superpowers. Ifa lo ibe. Ifa renders it thus. The dynamic laws of Ifa, the spiritual wisdom of Ifa, the spiritual mathematics of Ifa renders things as they are. Don't argue with reality, because you'll lose 100% of the time. If you understand the nature of Ifa, you will understand the nature of the universe, and you'll be able to navigate your way through your journey in the Loja with success and happiness and joy. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. So this brief overview lays the groundwork for our journey and of exploration into the wisdom of the sacred Odu Ifa. I look forward to having you share this journey with me. Let me know in the comments your level of interest and excitement about this next series of lessons, as I've kind of laid it out, a little sample, little taste of it in this video lesson. So Asheo. Ki Olufi-dumare Orisha ati egun, fifune ni itona imoye ati opo ire. May Olufi-dumare Orisha and Egun bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo kanbale, peace of mind from Olufi-dumare. Alafia ati Ife, brothers and sisters, peace and love. Ajo lo, ajo bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.